So we're going to continue working with shoulders. We started a little bit last week. We're going to do a little bit more, just getting them into them a little bit differently this week. So just know that you don't want anything to hurt. Again, if it doesn't feel right, please come out. Don't force anything, right? Be kind to yourself, but just allow yourself just that edge. You'll know the difference when you're doing something you should be in something that's like, no, back off. But you do want to have that bit of comfortable discomfort so that you can make a little bit of progress, right? So you want to feel that. So other things, breathing, always in and out through the nose.
Problem, Sharon.
Okay. All right. So
problem is we can't hear anything.
Okay. All right. So we're going to start today in child's pose. So you're on your knees, sending your sit bones back toward the heels. Knees can be together or apart. Now I understand if you have knee issues, this isn't so great. So if this isn't a great pose for you, always know you can come onto your stomach and crocodile. But if you're okay here, settle into child's pose. We'll take the arms out in front. Soften the forehead, soften the forearms. And just take a moment here to settle in. This is our time to center, whether you're in crocodile or you're in that child's pose. You're centering. You're just becoming aware of this moment, right? This is what makes yoga, that ability to be mindful in every movement. So you want to start first to pay attention to the anchor of your breath. Begin to feel the natural flow of your breath through the nose into the belly. Just let your breath find its own natural flow. Then begin to become aware of your body. What's the quality of your body today? Every day is a little different, right? Some days one thing hurts, another day something else hurts, right? So we just want to kind of notice these things, the muscles, the joints, the bones, maybe the systems of the body that you can sense, your energy level. All of that we're tuning into, just paying attention to it, noticing. And then finally, the quality of the mind. What's the quality of your thoughts, your emotions today? And then after tuning into those, just use your breath to provide what you need in any of those areas. Your full breath draws in energy, fresh energy, right? Fresh oxygen, just filling you and emptying out whatever you don't need. The breath through the nostrils and the rhythm of the breath can bring calmness. So if you were feeling anxious or stressed or wired, that breath through the nose is naturally calming to the nervous system. It can also bring joy if you're sad or down. Peace if you're angry. And then finally, guide each breath to any area of your body that physically needs it. Breathing in openness and space, and breathing out tension and strain. Then move into your controlled yoga breathing when you're ready. Breathe in more deeply, exhale completely. Allow that full breath to become even. So if that exhale is a count of 3, 2, 1, let your inhale be 3, 2, one. Maybe your breath is longer, maybe not, doesn't matter. Just find your own length of your exhale and match your inhale to it. And smooth. Each breath flowing right into the next. All right, now maintaining that breath, let's start to move our body a little bit. So let's start to walk our fingers forward. Get some length in your arms, press into your fingertips, soften your head. Hold it here, just lengthening out through the arms. Then let's take a little walk all the way over to the right. Once you're there, see if you can take your left hand and place it on top of the right. And then soften your head. Pressing your hips off now to the left a little bit. So see if you can get a full stretch. Sometimes we keep the hips and sit bones square to the heels. Today we're pressing them off, just getting a big stretch. Now let's take another little walk all the way through center, over to the left. Same thing here now. Once you're there, walk your fingers forward, then try to stack your hands. Yeah, right hand on top of the left. Soften your head, and then press your hips off to the right. And now let's return to center. On your next inhale breath, let's shift the weight forward. Press the hips toward the floor, open up across the shoulders and the chest. Exhale, send your sit bones back. Inhale, come forward. Exhale back. Nice. Just begin to move with the flow of your breath. Maybe getting a little bit more movement every time. Maybe you can drop those hips a little bit more each time as the muscles start to warm up. Or maybe you can draw the shoulders back a little bit more and open the chest a little bit more. Just notice these things, just moving with the flow of your breath. The next time you come forward, let's hold it. Press into those hands, grip the floor with your fingertips. Draw the shoulders back, staple your shoulder blades together. Abs are on. Last breath. Exhale, take your child's pose. This time make it a baby pose. So we're gonna bring those arms alongside the legs, soften the head. So we're just countering that extension with flexion. Next exhale breath, let's roll up the spine. So a reminder, if you have your props, we're going to use the blocks today. So if you don't have a block, find a book, find something, maybe your water bottle, anything that you can hold between your hands. If it's not comfortable for you to sit here on your knees, you can take a seated cross-leg pose or with your legs out. If you're okay on your knees, stay there. We're going to take the block in our hands, in between the hands. So this one, the one that I have is a cork block. So this is a little weighted. So this is kind of good for something like that because you're not only moving, holding onto it and creating that resistance, but it's a little heavy as well. Very hard to sell it. All right, so let's take the block between the hands, press into it. Then on your inhaled breath, we're going to take the arms up overhead. Abs are on. Exhale, lower down, pressing into that prop, whatever it is you're using. And down. Inhale, rising up. Try not to release that resistance. You're going to feel it. And lower down. So continue to move at your own pace with your own breath, pressing into that block as you raise and lower. Nice. All right, now the next time you raise that block overhead, let's hold it there. So press in, yes. Keep breathing. All right, last breath. Lower down. Nice and slow, move with your breath. You can rest the block, give your shoulders a little roll here, right? So you should feel that. That was a lot of work. Other way. All right, now let's take that block into our hands again. Reach it out, right at shoulder height. Now from here, we're going to take a little twist. So we're going to take the block into the right hand on the inhale. Follow with your gaze as you reach all the way up. Exhale, circle around, look behind. Inhale, all the way back up. Exhale, coming forward and lower. Then we'll switch sides. Inhale, follow that block with your gaze. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Alternating sides. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Do 2 more on each side, moving with your breath. So remember, you want that movement to take the whole breath. So we're not rushing it. Nice and controlled with that rotation in the spine and through the shoulder. Once you're through, you can rest the block at center and just go in again to your shoulder rolls or whatever you need here to kind of release that tension. All right, now when you're ready, we're going to do one more move here with the block. So let's take that block out in front again. Inhale overhead. Soften your shoulders, but press into that block. So we're just going to get a little tiny movement here in the shoulders. So inhale, lift the shoulders. Exhale, drop them down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop them down. So we're just very small movements, lifting and lowering. Remember to keep your rib cage and your hips toward one another, right? So abs are on. And reach. Soften the shoulders down. Hold it here for 5, 4. Keep pressing in. 3, 2, and 1. You should want to bring those arms down, right? You can place the block off to the side. Give yourself a couple of shoulder rolls. All right, from here, let's shift forward onto our stomach. Take a moment in crocodile to let your shoulders get a little break. All right, now let's take the chin or the forehead to the floor. You pick. Lengthen your arms alongside your body. Here, palms can be up or down. So whatever feels better in your own body. If it feels better with your palms up, down, it doesn't matter. So we're going to press the chin or the forehead into the floor. Press the tops of your feet into the floor and turn on your abs. Press your pubic bone in, right? Pressing into the floor with the pubic bone. On the exhale breath, we're going to try to lift the legs from the hip crease, not just the knees. Lift the whole leg up. So exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Just the legs. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. So work at your own pace here. What I want you to pay attention to is your chin or forehead. Try not to let that lift off of the floor. So we're just trying to isolate the movement to the legs. So we're working the low back here a little bit, the glutes. All right, now the next time you lift, hold it. Keep breathing. Now let's lower the legs down. All right, so shift them side to side. Take a cheek to the floor here and just sort of soften any tension that you have in your low back, your glutes. All right, now chin or forehead to the floor. Tops of the feet in. Pressing the pubic bone in again, abs on. Next inhaled breath, we're going to lift just the chest. Remember, the head just travels with the chest. We're not actively lifting the head. And exhale, lower. So now we're moving on the inhaled breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Beautiful. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale, hold. Imagine you're trying to touch your heels with your fingertips. Staple your shoulder blades in, back of the neck stays long. So your gaze is just out in front of the mat a bit. Keep on breathing. Here's the challenge. Working for the diaphragm. Last breath. Nice. Exhale, lower down. Take the opposite cheek to the floor. Again, wiggle side to side if that feels good for you. All right, return back to center this last time with the chin or the forehead. This time we're going to lift both the upper body and the low body, the legs, on the exhale breath. So let's all take a big breath in. Exhale, lift. Reach those hands back. Try to keep the feet at least hips width apart. Try not to let them splay out too wide. Hold it here. For 5, keep breathing. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Lower down. Press your sit bones back to child's pose. Arms alongside the legs for that baby. Soften here. Let go of any tension. Let the shoulders just be lax, soft. Release any tension in your face. Breathe deep into the low back. Next inhale, breath, tabletop. Stack your joints. Lengthen your spine by pressing your tail back and your crown forward. Grip the floor with your whole hand, right? We all know that deal, right? The fingertips, knuckles at the base of the fingers, heels and palms of the hands, right? Anytime you're on your hands, that's the energy that you want. And you want that weight even in the hands. All right, let's begin our cat-cow. Exhale. Shin to chest, navel to spine. Inhale, let it all go. Sit bones open, belly draws away from the ears. Exhale, back to cat. Inhale for cow. Close your eyes here. Let that flow. Just bring some calmness here. right? Matching the movement and the breath, mindfulness. Last one, exhale to cat, send those sit bones back to your heels, child's pose. Take a big breath in, take care of your hands, your wrists, big breath out. Full breath in, full breath out. Rise back up to your tabletop for leg extension. Exhale, right knee to nose. Inhale, send it back. Exhale, knee to nose, push through your hands. Inhale, send it back. Exhale, knee to nose, feel those shoulder blades pull apart and back. Now here's time for your decision if you want the balance. Left arm reaches. Knee to nose, or elbow to knee and lengthen. So opposite elbow and knee. Exhale, elbow to knee, inhale, lengthen. Now remember, you can keep both hands planted. All right, the next time you lengthen, let's hold it. See if you can find the balance. Beautiful, hips square. Back of the neck is long, so your gaze is right down beneath you on the floor, right? All right, let's release that and start the other side. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, push the floor away. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Inhale. Decision time. If you want the balance, opposite arm. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. So you decide if you want to go with that balance. Move with your breath. Adds a whole little different dynamic here, doesn't it? When you try to go with that moving balance. Next time you're long, let's see if you can hold it. So if you stayed with your hands planted, see if maybe you can catch a little balance here, lifting that opposite arm and hold. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Lower down. Take a break in child's pose or crocodile. Give yourself a recovery. All right, return to your tabletop. So we're going to challenge ourselves here. We did one of these moves last week. I don't think we did both. So let's take that right leg back again. Bend the knee, heel toward the buttocks. So get that stretch in your quad. Push the floor away. Now let's take the left arm, reach it out in front. Now you might want to stay here. This might be enough, finding the balance. If you think you can or you want to try, take that left arm out to the side. See if you can grab a hold inside your foot. You might be able to reach, might not. If you can, grab it. If not, just reach back. If you do grab it, press the foot and hand into one another. So you're pulling on the foot with the hand and pressing the foot into the hand. Abs on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Let it go. Lengthen back out and lower. Now let's do the same thing to the other side. Take that left leg long, bend the knee, heel toward the buttocks. Find your focal point. Reach the right arm. Now see if you can reach back, grab a hold. If not, you're just reaching in that direction. Create that resistance if you got it. Abs on, push the floor away, press into that left hand. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now lengthen it back out. Try to stay with the balance. Yes. Lower down. recover. Child's pose or crocodile. All right, returning back to our tabletop. So now we're going to try a bigger challenge. So we're going to try to balance on one side. So we're going to start by taking that right leg back, bend the knee, heel toward the buttocks. Now you're going to sort of line that left hand up with the left knee and scoot your left leg behind. I don't know if you can see or not. I'm going to move my blocks, but kind of take it behind a little bit to give you some stability. Fix your gaze. See if you can very slowly start to lift that right hand off the floor. Reach back. See if you can grab a hold of the foot on this side. Press them into each other. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Return to tabletop. Extend that leg long and then lower down. Same thing on the other side. Left leg goes back, bend the knee. So line up your hand and your knee. That right knee is going to scoot behind you a bit. Then very slowly, see if you can start to lift that left hand off the floor and reach back. Resistance if you got that foot. Nice. Release back down, leg long, lower. Take your recovery pose, child or crocodile. And it might change up. You might be like, yeah, you know what? My knees need a little break. I'm going to take a crocodile. Go there. All right. Returning back to our tabletop. Let's thread the needle. So take an inhale, right arm is going to go nice and high. Exhale, thread the needle down and through. Take it all the way down if you can. Inhale, open back up. Exhale, thread the needle down and through. Inhale, open. Exhale, thread. Beautiful. Big movement. Try to go as far as you can each way. The next time you thread your needle, you're going to hold it. So last week we added a couple of variations, right? So you choose where you want to be. Do you want to stay right here? Or do you want to lengthen your right or your left arm toward the top of the mat? Do you want to keep your legs where they are, or do you want to lengthen that left leg toward the end of your mat? Press into the ball of your foot, send that heel back. This might be enough. One more variation if you want to try. You can take that left arm up toward the ceiling, then bend at the elbow and wrap your arm around your low back. See if maybe you can tuck your fingers in that hip crease, pressing your shoulder blade toward the wall behind you. So any one of those variations you choose. Nice. Unwind. Come on back up to your tabletop. Now let's do the same thing with the left arm. Inhale. Exhale. Thread the needle. Inhale. Rotate. Open up. Exhale. Thread the needle. Couple more on your own. This time, thread your needle. And then mirror your other side. So whatever variation you chose. Did you lengthen the arm, that right arm? What about the leg? Did you take it back? Did you take that other arm, reach it up, and then bind it behind the back? Choose your variation. And you can use any combination of those moves. Maybe both knees are planted, but you're working on the bind. You can use any variation here of those poses. And return back to tabletop and take your recovery pose. So again, child's pose, maybe that baby pose, maybe crocodile. Always coming back to neutral before moving on, right? So we want to soften any tension that we've created. Take care of yourself. Give yourself that moment. All right, now we're going to rise up to tabletop one last time. So here's where we're going to work our downward dog. I'd like you, if you have 2 blocks or 2 books or whatever, to use the blocks. But if you don't, you can just work it the traditional way with the hands on the floor. So remember, if you're not working downward dog, you're working from tabletop. You're just extending back with one leg, pressing into the hands to get that stretch, but getting a big stretch. So this is your option, the modification. All right. If you want to try to work your downward dog with hands to the floor or to the blocks. Now, I think you'll find that you get a bigger stretch in the back of the legs if you use the blocks. So we're going to rest our hands on the blocks, which are shoulder width apart, little step back with the knees. On your exhale breath, we're going to press into the hands and send the sit bones high, but stay with your knees bent. Stay high on your toes. And you're almost hanging. With me, I have the heel of my hand almost hanging off of the block so I can press down and into it. So as you press into it, see if you can activate the backs of your arms, soften your shoulder blades and shoulders down the back. Sit bones a little higher, then begin to pedal. One heel and then the other toward the floor. Yes, so whether you're a traditional dog or with the blocks or tabletop, you're working that stretch in the back of the legs. When you feel ready in your downward dogs to press both heels toward the floor and hold, go there. See if you can push a little more firmly back from that block through your arms. Activate the back of your arms, your triceps. Press your sit bones a little higher and imagine you're pressing your heels back toward the floor and your chest and your belly toward your thighs. Head and neck are soft. Nice. Let's lower down to the knees. If your hands are on the block, keep them there. Send your sit bones back to child's pose and just press into the hands a little bit. Get a nice deep stretch here in your shoulders. If you're on the floor, take your extended child's pose. All right, let's return back to tabletop. So again, we're going to go back into downward dog or tabletop, working one leg and then the other. Roll the toes under if you're in downward dog, send them high. Now from here, we're going to take a 3-legged dog or tabletop. So let's lift the right leg. Pressing that left heel toward the floor. On your exhale, we're all going to rock forward, pull knee to nose. So those in tabletop, we've already been there, right? Those of you in downward dog, this is a little bit more open now, especially if you're on the blocks. Then inhale, send that leg up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, leg up or back. Exhale, knee to nose. Let's hold it here. Push through your hands. Feel your shoulder blades pull apart. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Send that leg high and then lower it down. Drop back down to the knees. Send the sit bones back. Extended child's pose. Hands on the block if you can. Soften your head. All right, returning back to tabletop or downward dog. Sit bones high for downward dog. Three-legged dog, left leg lifts. Press into your hands. Press that right heel toward the floor. All right, exhale, knee to nose, left knee to nose. Push those blocks away, the floor away. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, rock forward, pull the belly in, push through those hands. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, rock forward, push through, hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now let's step that left foot up. Take the blocks off to the side, step up with your other foot. Ragdoll pose of choice. So take a moment here. Let all the weight of your body just sort of tumble over those bent knees. Head and neck soft. Take the variation of ragdoll pose that you need today. Maybe you want to swing those arms, stir the soup pot. On your next exhale, slowly roll up the spine. Mountain pose. So once you're upright, feet hips width, toes at 12 o'clock, spread them, lift them, lower them back down. Press into the four corners of your feet. Spiral your inner thighs inward. Neutral pelvis. Lengthen your spine and turn on your abs. Knitting the hips and ribs toward one another. Shoulders back, shoulder blades down and in, palms forward. The back of the neck is long. Crown to the ceiling. Close your eyes and take a moment to tune back into those 3 anchors of mindfulness. Do you notice any changes from when you scanned your body at the beginning of your class? Now let's take a big inhale, arms overhead. Reach with your fingers, soften your shoulders, lift the chest. So it's that same action we had when we were using the block, right? Exhale, hinge at the hip crease, long, flat back. Plant your hands on something, rock forward and back on your feet. Just sort of move forward and back to get ready to even out the weight in your feet. When you're ready, weight in the feet is even, front to back, and send the sit bones high. Next inhale, rise all the way back up. On your exhale, take your arms out to the sides. We're going to bend the elbows and press your fingertips right into your shoulder joint. So we're trying to keep those elbows even with the shoulders. We're going to start by exhaling, bringing the elbows to touch in front. And then inhale, open. Try to staple the shoulder blades together. Exhale, elbows. Inhale, shoulder blades. Nice. Keep your abs on here as you move in and out of this. Try not to let those fingers come out of that shoulder joint too. Keep pressing them in. All right, now the next time you come forward to touch, hold them there. Then inhale, open. Try to touch the elbows together behind you. And open and release. Let's take some arm swings. Forward and back. You can even bend the knees here. Get the whole body moving, right? Maybe side to side. All right. Take a big inhale, arms up. Exhale, shoulder height. And turn the palms facing upward. Now let's think about bringing those fingers to touch again. And then inhale, open. Exhale, touch. Inhale, open. So see if you can hold your upper arm nice and steady and just move at the elbow, right? So we're just bending at that elbow joint. Yeah, looks fantastic. All right, now let's hold those arms out. Don't let them drop. Keep them shoulder height. Now goal post. Don't let those elbows drop below the shoulder. And release. Nice. Back to your arm swings. You should really want to get those arms down, right? Yeah, side to side. All right, let's come to the top of our mat. Hands to heart. Sun A. Take a big inhale. Arms come high. Exhale, hinge at the hip crease. Forward fold. Make your adjustments here. Press those sit bones. Soften any tension in your face. Next inhale, slide your hands halfway up the legs. Press into them. Remember, not against the knee. Draw your shoulders back here. So firm up your upper back. Exhale, lower down. Take a step back with your right foot, then your left. Push the floor away. So we're holding our plank pose. Remember, plank can be knees up or down. Abs are on, so your hips are even with your shoulders. And you're gripping the floor as you push the mat away from you. Heels reaching back. Exhale, rock forward. Slow and controlled, lower down, either through knees or through push-up. Point your toes behind you. Inhale, lift your chest. Hover your hands. Drag the elbows back. So those little grasshopper arms, right? Elbows are nice and tight in toward the rib cage. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, roll your toes under. Prepare. Exhale, plank to down dog, or send your sit bones back to child's pose, and then take a tabletop. So we've been in downward dog, so let's gaze to the top of the mat. Take a step up from tabletop or down dog with your right foot. Then your left. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a big breath in. Let it go. Big breath in. And out. All right, other side, one movement, one breath. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, lower. Inhale, left foot comes back. Then your right for your plank pose, knees up or down. Exhale, rock forward, lower down. Use your arms. Tops of the feet to the floor. Inhale, baby cobra. Hover. Exhale, lower. Child's pose or toes, prepare. Exhale, plank to down dog or to tabletop. Gaze to the top of the mat. Take a step up, left foot, then right. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Breath in and out. In and out. Again, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, lower. Right foot to plank. Exhale, rock forward, lower down. Inhale, choose your cobra this time, baby, you're full. So you can press up a little higher if you like. Pull those shoulders back. Exhale, lower down. Child's pose or prepare. Exhale, plank to down dog. Inhale, gaze to the top of the mat. Take a step up, right foot from down dog or tabletop. And left. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Breath in and out. In and out. Last side on your own, left. Begin when you're ready. We'll meet in mountain pose. All right, here we go. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, lower. Inhale, chair. So sit bones down and back, arms, extension of your spine or at heart. Lift your gaze, lift your chest. For 5. Keep breathing. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, fold. Nice. Take a step back with your right foot. Lower down to the right knee. So remember that front knee is stacked over the ankle. Tuck your tail. Sink your hips. Inhale, arms high. So lengthen your spine out of your pelvis. Maybe you want to lift the chest. Abs on, you can lift the chest. Exhale, lower. Inhale, step back for plank. Exhale, rock forward, lower down. Inhale, choose your cobra. You can even take an up dog here if you know it, lifting the kneecaps off the floor if you want to go there. Exhale, lower down. Child's pose or prepare. Exhale, plank to down dog. So now from downward dog or tabletop, we're going to send the right leg high, 3-legged dog or 3-legged table. Now bend that right knee and stack right hip over left. Hip opener here. So remember, downward dog or table, you choose. Inhale, realign your hips. Now on your exhale, rock forward, knee to nose in downward dog or tabletop. Inhale, send it high. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, send it high. Exhale, knee to nose, hold it here. Then inhale, step that foot up between the hands. Lower down to the left knee. Beautiful. Hands to the thigh. Tuck your tail, sink your hips, lift. So Anjaneyasana, kneeling lunge. Now on your next exhale, we're gonna plant the left hand inside that foot. So now you can use your block if you like, hand to the floor, you choose. Take your right arm, reach it out in front. We're gonna work a horizon lunge. So on the inhale, we're gonna follow that right hand all the way up and back. Exhale, follow it as you scoop down and forward. Inhale, all the way up and back. Exhale, scoop down and forward. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, we're gonna stop here, reaching that hand up and back behind you. So it's trying to touch that wall ceiling crease. Now, if you want, stay here, or maybe you wanna lift off of the back leg. Maybe you wanna come to the outer edge of that right foot. You might be able to come to the outer edge of the left foot and sink the hip. So you choose. Remember, any variation here is fine. Push through that left hand. And pivot back forward. Come into your low lunge, knee lifted. Press the heel back. Crown forward. Now push off of that back foot. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Big breath in. Let it go. Big breath in. And out. Other side. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, lower. Inhale, chair. Set yourself up. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, fold. Beautiful. Step back left foot. Come down to that knee. Stack that front knee and rise. Exhale, lower. Step back to plank. Exhale, rock forward, lower down. Inhale, choose your cobra or up dog. Exhale, lower. Child's pose or prepare. Exhale, plank to down dog. Those in child's pose, take your tabletop. Let's send the left leg high. So 3-legged dog or table. Now bend that left knee. Stack that left hip over the right in tabletop or down dog. Realign your hips. Exhale, knee to nose, push the floor away. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose, hold it. Next, inhale, step that foot up. Lower down to the right knee. Inhale, arms high. So kneeling lunge on this side. Exhale, right hand. Inside the foot, left hand forward. So here we go, horizon lunge. Inhale, all the way up, follow it. Exhale, scoop down and forward. Inhale, follow with your gaze as best you can. Scoop forward. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale, hold it at that angle. Reach it up and back. Gaze back to it. Now here comes the decision. Do you want that back knee lifted? Do you want to come to the outer edge of that left foot? Maybe the outer edge of the right foot and sink those hips. So remember, choose your variation here. Fit yourself into the pose. You don't have to do every variation. Push through that right hand. Nice. Pivot to the top of your mat. Hold your low lunge. Now bend that back knee, push off. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way back up. Exhale, hands to heart. Beautiful. Recover here with your hands at heart or at your sides. Maybe our third body scan, checking in again. Notice any changes, mindful of whatever you're feeling in your body, physically, in your breath, in your thoughts. Now let's keep our blocks toward the top of the mat. We're going to work through some of our standing poses here. So feet hips width. We're going to start with Konasana, angle pose. So we're going to start by stepping back with the left foot. Now you're not going to go really far back. It's not as far back as you would go for your warrior. So you want your feet fairly close. Railroad track spacing. The back toes are going to be at 10 o'clock. Bring your hands to your hips. So both hips are pointing forward. On your exhale, hinge at your hip crease. So we're going to come into this Konasana. Forward fold over the leg, that front leg. So both legs are straight here. Pull your right hip back, press your left hip forward. Now you can stay here or exhale. Fold at the hip crease, lengthen over that leg. You can plant your hands on something. Maybe you can reach the floor. Maybe it's the blocks at any height. You choose, but feel something in the back of that front leg. Now on your next inhale, press into the blocks or the floor and straighten your arms so you're about halfway here. So now we're going to work into a revolved triangle. So we're going to keep the left hand planted, take the right hand to your hip. Now note too, you can always come up higher on the leg if you need to. Press your crown forward, tailbone back. Exhale, rotate your rib cage to the right. So imagine that you're trying to press that right shoulder blade to the wall behind you. If this is still okay, maybe you can reach that arm to the ceiling. And if it's still okay, maybe you can bend the elbow and bind your hand behind your back, right around the low back. But open up that shoulder. Try to press that shoulder blade to the wall behind you. Yes, beautiful. All right, hold it here. One more breath. Now let's return back to center. Just sort of bump the blocks out of the way a little bit. Bend into that right knee. And then step your left foot back further and line your heel and arch up. We're going to prepare to rise up to warrior two. So now heel and arch are lined up, Hips are open. Long edge of the mat. Soften your shoulders. Now let's take that extended side angle. Right elbow to thigh, left hand to hip. Open your rib cage to the left wall. So now that shoulder blade, left shoulder blade, is trying to touch the wall behind you. See if you can take that left arm toward the ceiling, stretch it up. And then we're gonna bend at the elbow and wrap it behind the low back. See if you can maybe grab a hold of your thigh crease. Open up your rib cage, hold it here, pressing in. You might even be able to slide that right hand down toward the floor or to a block. Now let's rise back up, warrior two. Straighten that right leg. Exhale, reach. And then windmill down to triangle. So both legs straight, press that left hip back, crown forward. We're gonna hold it here a couple of breaths. And then after that, you can either stay in triangle or you can work your half moon balance. We worked that a little bit last week. So either stay here, or if you want to try the balance, left hand to hip, bump the back foot up, grab a hold of one of your blocks with your right hand and rest your hand on it. Straighten your right leg and lift your left. So you want that left leg to try to come right out from your hip. Pressing that glute to the wall behind you, left shoulder blade to the wall behind you. Then you might be able to reach that arm to the ceiling. So remember, you're either staying in triangle or working the balance. It's your choice. One more breath here. And then lower back down, warrior two. Hands to the hips, pivot to the top of your mat and take a step up. Nice, shake it all out. So hip circles. We did a lot of different poses there. So give yourself a moment. All right, now let's try the other side. Remember, keep those blocks handy, because those are really nice, especially for Konasana in that revolved triangle. All right, so feet hips width. Now we're stepping back with the right foot. Remember, not a huge step. So now your back toe is pointing to 2 o'clock. Point your hips to the front. Exhale, hinge. So once you get to this halfway point, if it feels like your feet are too far apart, step the back one in a little bit. Pull your left hip back, press your right hip forward. Then exhale, lengthen over that leg. So if you want to bring your blocks in here, resting your hands on them, or hands might come to the floor, you choose. Are your hips still square? Are you still pressing that femur bone into the hip socket? Now let's inhale, press into the blocks, come up halfway. Even come up on your leg if you need to, if you want to come up higher. All right, now keep your right hand on the block, left hand to your hip. Press your tailbone back, crown forward, so spine length first, then rotate the rib cage to the left. If this is still okay, that arm might come high. Or maybe you want to wrap it around the low back, binding. So again, choose the variation that works in your body. All right, now return back to center. Bend your front knee. Bump your back foot out and line it up with the heel of your front foot. And then we're going to rise up to warrior two. Beautiful. Make those adjustments once you're there. If you feel like the legs aren't quite right, adjust them. Now exhale, extended side, elbow to thigh. Right hand to hip. Open up your rib cage. All right, see how it feels here. If you want to take that arm to the ceiling, go there. If you want to bend it behind your back. Maybe get a hold of that hip crease. Maybe slide the left hand toward the block or the floor if you want to come down deeper. Again, choose your variation. Inhale, rise up, warrior two. Exhale, straighten that left leg, reach, and windmill, triangle pose. Either stay here or bring that right hand to hip, bump the back foot up, grab a hold of your block, and then straighten the left leg. Open up through that hip now, right? So it's that right glute pressing the wall behind you. Right shoulder blade. Reach to the sky. So either holding triangle or working the balance. All right, next inhale, bend that knee, come back to warrior two. Trying to catch that balance there, right? Nice and graceful. We all were, right? All right, now let's windmill down. Move the block. Step back to plank. Send the sit bones to down dog. And then drop to your knees and take a child's pose of choice. Next exhale, roll up your spine. All right, let's come onto our seats. Grab a hold of your blocks again. Just place them, I don't know, maybe mid-thigh-ish. All right, so now what we're going to do here is we're going to create that V with our thighs and our upper body, right? Then start to walk your feet in as close as you can to your belly. Then we're going to take our arms and give ourselves a hug, okay? Now, open up and cross left over right. Try to cross at your calves, not so much the ankles. See if you can pull in again, right? So now you can balance. Maybe the toes can lift. See if you can balance on your sit bones. And if not, you're still working the core here. So now we're hugging in nice and tight. What we're going to try to do is take a big inhale, and on the exhale, we're going to release the arms and try to keep the legs in as close as we can. So take your inhale. Exhale, release. Now see if you can plant your hands on that block. Press into them, but keep those knees in. Nice. Now unwind, cross the other leg on top. Hug back in again. So now the arms are helping. You can come into that little ball. Even tuck your chin. All right, now we're going to prepare. Take your big inhale. Exhale, hold. Plant your hands on those blocks. Press in with your fingertips. Pull those knees in. Don't let them pull away from you. For 5, keep breathing. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now straighten out your legs if you can, either bent or straight. Press into those blocks. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the legs. Open your legs nice and wide. Make those little adjustments. Try to get onto your sit bones. Exhale. From here, we're just going to hinge at the hip crease. Walking forward with the hands. So this should feel kind of good in the hips after all that work we did trying to hold those legs in, right? Because you use your whole core, which is your abs, your hip flexors, your quads, they all work there. Come down as far as you comfortably can, and let's just tune back in to the body, what you're feeling, breathing into the challenging parts of this stretch. Where do you feel stuck? Guide your breath there. Now let's rise back up. Nice. Bring the legs back in, bend the knees, and we're just going to roll down the spine. Coming down onto your back, hug your knees into your chest, rock side to side. All right, now let's plant the feet to the floor, open your arms nice and wide. Send your right leg high, cross it over the left. Open that knee out. And then from here, we're just going to drop those legs over toward the floor on the right. Now let's return back to center, unwind, switch, cross over, and then drop those legs toward the floor on the left. Return back to center, unwind. Now let's cross the right arm under the left. Bend your elbows, come into eagle arms or hug the shoulders. So we're bringing the palms together. On your inhale, see if you can bring your fingertips to touch behind your head. And then bring them back to neutral. Reach them back to touch behind the head. And then return. Reach to touch, let's hold. And now we'll unwind, open up wide, then switch, left under right. Eagle arms. Touch with your fingertips behind the head, and then neutral. Touch behind the head, and then neutral. Touch behind the head and hold. Now stretch out through your legs, unwind your arms and reach them behind you. Give yourself a final symmetrical stretch. Grow your spine. Press your low back into the floor for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release it all. Take a final relaxation pose. Shavasana, maybe the legs over your couch or up the wall, wherever it is for you. Settle into your final relaxation pose. Hopefully my dog's snoring will be white noise for you and be relaxing. If not, I apologize. Settle into that relaxation pose. Begin to let the weight of your body melt into the floor like jello. Feel the muscles begin to let go as you notice the touch of the structure of your body on the floor, those contact points. Notice the spaces, the shadows beneath you. Begin to notice the space above you, maybe sensing the soft touch of air on your skin. As your body begins to still, your mind begins to travel from the outward sensations inward, where it rests on the flow of your breath. Become aware of the flow of the breath at the nostrils. And with each rise and fall of your abdomen, with each inhale and each exhale, knowing that each inhale is drawing in fresh oxygen, fresh energy, and a sense of well-being. And each exhale is carrying away tension, strain, and fatigue. Notice that with time, each breath becomes a bit deeper, more even and smooth. An unbroken stream that flows without sound, without pause. Inhale to exhale, exhale to inhale again and again. Now carry that breath as you travel with your awareness to the crown of your head and rest there. Allow each inhaled breath to draw in space and relaxation. Each exhaled breath to carry away tension, strain, and fatigue. Move downward to your forehead and breathe there. Your eyebrows and eyes. Soften your nose and feel the touch of your own breath at the base of your nostrils, warm then cool. Soften the muscles of your lower face. Relax from the top of your neck to the bottom. Feel your throat relax. Soften across your shoulders. Feel the bones become heavy as the muscles surrender their hold. Relax from the top of your arms to your fingertips. And let any tension flow outward through your fingertips. Moving now to the upper chest, downward across the rib cage to the abdomen. And from your upper back, down the length of your spine. Feel the muscles of your middle and low back begin to let go as your upper body sinks deeper and deeper into relaxation. Soften downward across the hips, the glutes. Feel the weight of your thigh bones become heavier and heavier as your thigh muscles surrender their hold. Soften across your knees, shins, calves, ankles, feet, and toes. Allow your whole body to relax from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet. And let any last bits of tension flow outward through your feet. You're now as relaxed as you want to be. Excuse me. Allow any last bits of tension to just melt away. As you begin to sense your breathing, your soft muscles, and your calm, still mind. Peace, peace, peace. Now, when you feel ready to reawaken, start to bring some movement to your fingers, your toes, your head, your neck. Then gently rub the palms of your hands together and place your warmed hands over your eyes. Open your eyes to the warmth and energy of your own hands. Slowly draw them down to let in the light of day. Take a moment, do what feels natural, maybe massage your forehead, your temples. Maybe you want to open up to a stretch or hug the knees in and rock side to side. Then finally, before rising to your seat, take a moment to roll to your right side. Taking that fetal pose, allow the weight of your body, the weight of your mind, your thoughts. Let it all just melt away from your heart for a moment. And let your heart feel light. When you feel ready to rise to your seat, rise slowly and carefully. And just take a moment in seated pose, a moment of gratitude to our bodies for getting us onto our mats today, for allowing us to move through the series of poses, the asanas that we've gone through, and for allowing us a moment of stillness. And then a moment to acknowledge the positive energy that each of us has brought into this space today. And together, we say namaste. Namaste. Thank you.